Hey, it's Desi, and I am here filming another video after a very long time. I plan to do better, but I'm just going to do that with actions and not words. Okay, so I post my proposal video probably like a month and a half ago at this point, and that was the last thing that I posted on my channel before literally not posting anything for a long time. And I'm gonna tell you why today. I don't really know how to properly word everything I want to say today, so I'm just gonna go ahead and just say it. We're gonna talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, and the crazy and the crazier, simply because I feel like nobody really talks about it enough. So that's what we're gonna, discuss today. So this video is what they don't tell you about planning a wedding. Who child? Let me tell y'all something. When I first started planning my wedding, people be like, "Oh my God, after engagement, it's just the happiest time of your life. And, you're just, so ready and so excited." I didn't feel that. I didn't get the excitement and the happiness. What I got instantly was stress. So, because me and my fiance were already in marriage counseling at our church before our engagement, everybody pretty much knew that we were planning to get married within the next year. So after the engagement, was official, it's like everybody started bomb rushing me, trying to, get the ball rolling and stuff like that. Needless to say, within that small month and a half, almost 2 months that it's been, so much has happened, so much has gone on, and we just gonna have a conversation. The first thing I will start with, what nobody tells you about planning a wedding, is cost. Everything about a wedding is insanely expensive. When I tell you, it could be a very regular thing, but the minute you tell people wedding, they jack the price up 3 times. I'm so for real. Like, you can go get your hair done today and be like, "Oh gee, I just want to get a lace front and I want you to do like a a little updo style in the back." They're gonna be like, "Oh, okay, 150, 200, whatever." When you say, "Oh, I want to get my hair done for my wedding," these people are going to say $675. That's exactly how it goes. I went to a wedding and bridal expo back in December, and when I tell y'all, everything up in there was just like a arm, a leg, two of your toes, a couple fingers. It's just like, our people are really out here spending 50,000, $100,000 on a wedding. So I guess it's normal. Like, it wouldn't be like that if nobody was doing it. But when I tell y'all, this wedding stuff is so expensive, and I just refuse. I refuse to go broke over a wedding. I refuse to have a wedding looking like my student loans or just anything. That's just ridiculous, and I just was not going for it. So the cost of anything regarding a wedding is always about triple, if not more, than what the price would be on a regular day. So if there's some type of way that you can finesse it and like get you, a cake made or a hairdo without telling people you getting married, then that might work out for you, because the minute you say wedding, engaged, I'm getting married, people see dollar signs, and I don't know why, but that's what they do, and it's so horrible. When I tell you, everything about wedding is expensive, and it's like the prices are just through the roof. But I know for me, like, the Lord really blessed me because my parents helped me pay for, literally everything that needed to be paid for. So I didn't have that issue. But when I tell you, even going into places and picking out the things that I wanted, I was still very mindful of price, because I wasn't about to be out here letting somebody go broke because we're not choosing sensibly. But yeah, there's that. It's a whole lot of money, and I see why the people go to the courthouse and they say "I do" and they say "I love you," because 40 grand, we're not doing that. The second thing I want to talk about is people. Ooh, Lord Jesus. People. Now, the people segment can be broken up into multiple parts because there's a lot of people. So you have family, you have friends, you have people helping you plan, then you have like wedding party. All of those people, you are going to get something very, very totally different from. From a general standpoint, I'm going to say this. When you're getting married, people act crazy. I'm going to just say that one more time. When you're getting married, people act crazy. When I tell y'all, and somebody may think it's biased because it's me talking about me, but when I tell y'all, I'm the furthest thing from a bridezilla. I literally, like the family members that are helping me plan, I literally told them, this is the colors that I want. This is the place that I want. Y'all do what y'all do. I'm not micromanaging. I'm not telling you where the flowers need to be set on the table. I'm not telling you how many flowers in a bouquet. When I tell you, I do not consider myself a bridezilla at all. Even when it came to my wedding party, I told them, y'all the ones got to stand in those shoes all day. So you choose your own black shoes. Like when I tell y'all, I just feel like I was so chill. Like I literally have just been essentially letting people do what they're comfortable with, letting people do what they want to do. Like the most lenient person ever, because I've been in a wedding before. I made my reel about my cousin's wedding that I was in, and the average wedding, there are rules. Like you're not about to give suggestions if the bride has already decided what she wants. I literally had a whole Zoom call with my wedding party, told them, okay, I like all 4 of these dresses, so let's vote. I literally let these people pick their own dress, okay? Lenient, open. I want everybody to have a good time. I'm not trying to stress nobody out. And yet and still, people act crazy. People got a problem with the stuff they chose. What? I'm confused. When I tell y'all, people act so crazy. It's like if it's not one thing, it's another thing. And when you think about the guest list, people want you to throw a 500 people wedding, knowing good and well 495 of them don't even deal with you. Let's just be so for real. And the minute you decide, okay, well, this is what's best for me and I'm not going to be able to do this, that, or the third, then you dead wrong. But it's like everybody wants to be on the guest list. Everybody wants to come, whether you have a relationship with them or not, whether they support you or not, whether they like you or not, whether they're going to buy you a gift or not. It's just like the guest list just gets longer and longer and longer and longer. And I'm over it. Like I literally was supposed to stop at like 140 for like reception. My reception list is beyond that at this point. And it's just like, it's just a mess. It is a mess. And then you invite people that you think you have a relationship. Like, okay, well, cousin Nene, I was pretty close to her, but I wasn't really close to her sister Nunu. So I'm just going to invite Nene, and then Nunu get mad. Girl, I don't even know you. Like, I don't know you like that. I really don't. I really don't know you like that. And it's just like, I don't see you no day of the week. Not one day. So why? Like, the one day that I have to foot the bill, why does the whole world want to be there? I'm confused. And when I tell y'all, it has literally been the ride of my life. And I was not expecting this at all. But for whatever reason, every bride or like wife that I encounter who actually had a wedding, they all say the same thing. I met this one woman when me and my best friend were out to eat, and my cousin Nettie. And she heard us like talking about, wedding planning and stuff. And she was like, oh, I'm being nosy. Are y'all talking about a wedding? And we're like, yeah. So she started telling us her story. And she was basically like, she told us something like, most of the people in her wedding party, she literally had to cut off after she got married because of how crazy they acted with her, throughout the planning process. And she literally said that like, her own daddy like got an attitude and didn't want to come to her wedding because he wanted to wear an all white suit to match her. And she was like, no, I'm the only person that's going to be in white. And he got an attitude. I was just so baffled. Like, cause that's when I first got engaged. Like I was so baffled because I'm like, oh my God, sis, how? Like, I don't understand. Oh, but now I understand. Like not the daddy part, but just the part of people being weird as heck. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, I was in a wedding before. I wore what I was told to wear. I bought the shoes I was told to buy. I bought everything I was told to buy. I showed up at the events that I was supposed to show up to. And I just don't understand, because if you have a problem doing the slightest things, you shouldn't be a part of the wedding party. Because if this is somebody that you really care about and you're happy for them, like, it's the least you can do. It's the least that you're supposed to do. And I even spoke with another woman yesterday, and she was basically like, how like she had a similar experience, and essentially her wedding planning was like the worst experience of her life. And she was basically like, I would never do it again. Like, trying to celebrate my marriage or my love with other people is overrated. And I would never discourage anybody from having a wedding, because I know I hear people all the time saying like, oh, don't do it, you know, if I could tell you anything. And it's like, it's easy to say that to somebody, but at the end of the day, everybody's gonna want their own experience. So I can't tell you not to do it. Only thing I can say is to be prepared for what could pop off and like manage it, you know, effectively. In my life, I feel like I was so laid back, because essentially I don't care. Like, I want to have a wedding, but I don't care about tedious things. You know how people are like, oh, nobody should show up in the wedding colors. I don't care about that. Like, all those wedding rules or just event rules that people can like go so crazy over, it doesn't matter to me. Like, when it came to me, the only thing I cared about was showing up and marrying the man that I love. I didn't care about whether or not Susie May got on the same color as the bridesmaids and stuff like that. Like, it just didn't matter to me. So with that being said, I gave a lot of the people who were helping me like free reign. Like, child, do you, whatever you're gonna do, that's you. Because I didn't care. Like, I just was very open. Like, I delegated a lot of stuff because I wasn't micromanaging. Like, I even told my mom, she's like, what do you want the menu to be? I'm like, I don't care. She was like, well, y'all need to create a menu. And I'm like, whatever you want to cook. She's like, no, tell me what to cook. I literally don't care. You the one got to cook it. Whatever you cook, that's what we gonna eat. But literally, that's just how chill I was. My mom was like, oh, tell me, I want you to make the menu. I didn't even care about making the menu. I felt like the people who cooking the food can make the menu, because, you know, that's their jurisdiction. But because of that, it gave people a whole lot of room to do a whole lot of extra stuff. And you would think that, you know, giving people a little bit more freedom would make things better, but all it did was make stuff chaotic as heck, because not everybody feels like they can do everything, and, you know, it just was a lot. So this whole process has been very, 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 very stressful. But I'm at the point now in February, because it's February the something, and I'm getting married April the something. So like, I'm almost like 2 months out from the wedding. So we're at the point where everything is, for the most part, like done and paid for, and we're just like working out details up until the day of. I have a dress fitting, I have my final dress fitting like next week or so. So I literally have to like remain the same exact weight for like a month and a half, which we'll see. So things are calming down for me. But initially, I just felt so weird, because when I thought about the wedding, or when I thought about planning the wedding, I just got so much anxiety. I was so overwhelmed, and I was so stressed. And I genuinely just used to think in my head, like, I just can't wait for this to be over. And I just feel like when you're planning a wedding, that shouldn't be the mindset. Like, you're supposed to be enjoying it. You're supposed to be happy. And I just be like, oh, Lord, I will be glad when this is done. And that's sad. But it's getting better. I'm getting excited about it, because all the craziness is pretty much done with. Because I'm at the point where I'm just not putting up with nothing else. So it's just like, people just leaving me alone. They really are. Like, between me and my mama, it's like, you don't really want to bother me about this wedding, because I'm just, listen, you at this point, you got one time to say, I don't like, well, you ain't got to come. It's just that simple. Well, I think, well, you ain't got to come. Like, that's where we at right now. So it's getting better. Everything is calming down, and I'm pretty much kind of done planning my wedding. The only thing I haven't finalized is the decorations, which my aunties are working on that, so I'm sure they'll send me pictures and stuff soon. But finalized reception decor, but other than that, everything is pretty much done. So now we're just focusing more on planning the honeymoon, which is what we're going on right after, you know, the wedding, that same week. So I bought the plane tickets last night, actually. So now I gotta find like a B&B and like create an itinerary and everything for that. So I'm kind of moving off of wedding onto honeymoon. So I'm getting happier. Things are feeling better. But initially I was like, this does not feel good, and I do not like doing this. So yeah, it's crazy. If you're getting married, if you're about to get married, if you want to get married, you know, if you just like weddings, then this video is for you. These are all the things people don't tell you about planning a wedding, and these are all the things people don't talk about, because when I talk to people, they're like, oh girl, I experienced the same thing, and I'm like, but I never do. Nobody ever says anything. People just think it's just butterflies and rainbows whole time. Half of the world is mad at you. You know, everybody feels like they should have been told something that they weren't told. And it's just like, well, it's all 1,000 of the people in your life feel like they should have known. And then if you get engaged and didn't know, you're like, well, it's a lot. You know, shout out to the people that are just like, I'm happy for you. That's your decision. You know, not the people, I can't believe you ain't tell me. Da 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 da. That's just stress. Okay, bye.